Hello everyone and welcome back. And this will be a general weekly reading for the sign of Gemini for the week of August 18th. And at this time I'd like to give a very special thank you to each and every one of you out there who have been subscribing to my channel and helping it grow and getting it noticed. And for sharing with others. And of course for all the thumbs up on all the videos that you've watched. And the lovely comments. Thank you so very much for doing all of that for me. It truly is appreciated, and I do thank you. Right. And the Seven of Swords. Moving away from untrustworthy people. Understanding that it's time for you to change your direction on what you're doing, who you're hanging around with. You know, people have been getting away with stuff because you've just let it slide. But now you're taking action on it. Like you're just walking away from them, understanding that they're not there for the good of you. They're just there for the better of themselves. And you're letting people like that just out of your life. Ten of Cups, happy home, happy life. Oof, right place, right time. This could be the beginning of a new partnership for some of you. Because this is divine love and harmony. You know, blissful relationships in all areas. Home, family, friends. You know, sometimes you just got to put your foot down to know where you stand and put other people there so that you can move into this happiness that you so desire. You know, but this is a dream come true for you. Family connections, getting together, supportive, loved people in your life so that you get the support that you give to others. So this is blissfully happiness for you coming in. And the Nine of Rods, yeah, you've had to stand your ground in order to accomplish this. You're tired, you're weary, you know, you've been up against it a few times. But you're finally making that, you know, final decision for yourself of how you're going to get respect in the world. And it's taken a lot of courage for you to arrive at this evolution in your life, regardless of where you are. But you are definitely knowing that you're doing the right things for yourself for a change. Instead of trying to please everybody else around you, you are deserving of a better way. And the Eight of Rods. So yeah, some pretty quick decisions here. This is something that is going to land in your lap unexpectedly, and it's going to require that you take action. You know, whether this is travel, an agreement in some form or another, new job, moving, but this is something that you have wanted. Some of you even travel as well is here, but you are just wanted this for a very long time. The universe said, here's your opportunity. Are you going to accept it, or have you got, you know, answers to delay this longer? And the Hangman, yeah, stepping out, finally understanding where you're at. You know, you've looked at your life in overall and understanding that things needed to change. You know, you've taken everybody's feelings and stuff all into consideration, and now you're putting yours first. You know, you've made some difficult decisions. There's been some behaviors that you didn't like, so you're changing them. Because you don't want to repeat things in your life. Once you've come this far and made these many decisions, you don't want to backslide. So you understand that you need to change now the surroundings so that you can begin on this new path for yourself going into the future. Yeah, the Page of Swords. Yeah, good news coming in. Unexpected. But you are standing your ground. You've made some pretty quick decisions here. Even for yourself, you have had new ideas. You have a thirst for knowledge. You have a new way of communicating with everybody in your life, regardless of what positions they hold. And you have a less tolerance for people who do not treat you correctly. So, sometimes that's a better place to be. But you are willing to, assert yourself going forward, knowing that you need to make some pretty quick decisions on whether you want this to stick or continue. And you're definitely cutting through all the things that have been holding you back for a long time, because this is a new beginning for you to start out. And the High Priestess, yeah, you got the universe at your back. They've made some pretty big decisions here. You know that things are actually starting to come to where you wanted them to be for a long time. This is your own knowledge and admission that you've done the right things at the right time for yourself. And you've put up some pretty big obstacles in your own way over the time. And now you're letting them go because you realize that you've overcome so much to be in this place that you are right now. You're no longer over-analyzing things. You're understanding that it's your time to begin again. Go out, look into the universe and the world and see what you've already accomplished and admit it. And then continue on going forward. But you have the universe's blessing here. And again, the High Priestess. So you are definitely getting, the universe's change your path. This is your water elements and your moon, and that's coming up pretty quick here. But you are definitely stepping out again. Trusting yourself that you're making the right decisions and all of what your feelings are and what you wanted to grow and accomplish from the past. You've caught up with all that. Now you're beginning something new for yourself. And you're understanding that it's deserving. You're not asking for anything that you haven't already earned. And you've got the blessing here. You're in balance with yourself. You've communicated very clearly with others. You're just feeling more harmonious in your choices and what you've done, and you're understanding that it will take a little adjusting for others, but you're quite comfortable in your decision this far. Yeah, Ten of Swords, moving away from dishonest people. You're letting somebody out of your realm of people here. It's been a painful ending. You finally admitted that, the crime that they committed towards you, left you deeply wounded for a long time. But you're now coming around to picking yourself up out of this negativity, moving forward, no longer accepting that it's a failure. It was a teaching, and you're moving forward. And you're letting go of that person who did that. And it will be for good. Like, you won't turn around, talk to them, nod at them on the street if you're still living in the same vicinities. This is dead, done, and over with. You're much wiser for it. You're not questioning of how it came about. You're understanding that it was a learning situation. Sometimes that is a terrible way to look at things because it leaves scars, but if you don't learn from your past, the saying goes, you're doomed to repeat them in the future. And you don't want to do that anymore. So you're taking the higher road in this. You're admitting who did what, where, and how it all panned out, what your part in this whole downfall was, and moving away from it. Understanding that you need to change who you hang around with, who you trust. You're withholding a little bit more than you have in a long time because you're not feeling secure with some people that's around you. You're still on the fence about them, but you'll make your decision very quickly here. Yeah, and the King of Cups. You're sitting back, you're observing, understanding that you are deserving of good things in your life. You're more emotionally balanced. And you're holding your composure, just surveying the land sort of thing. But you're in control of this, and you're very much aware of that. And you're empathetic to some, for different circumstances and things. But you're taking care of yourself first. And you're learning to remove yourself from so much chaos so that you can come into more harmonious surroundings. So you're actually sitting back this time and just allowing things to flow into you without questioning, and see what comes out. And the World card, yeah, you're definitely on a whole new beginning. You really are. You've accomplished lots of things. And you've traveled. You have a more fulfilling outlook for your life of accomplishments. And you've arrived. Here you are. This is where you're at. This is what you have. And you're really surveying the land, looking at all that's out there. Friends, relatives, people that you were in late relationships with, and feeling more at peace with how the outcomes were. They weren't always pleasant, but they weren't all bad either. And you're feeling more aligned with your next step going forward. And the Sun, look at that. Beautiful card. New beginnings, new opportunities, right place, right time, happiness, joy, warmth. There's celebrations here. There could be a rebirth for yourself, like a whole new way of you. We all do change, even though we don't think we do. And it's a successful one for you. Or you're feeling like it is the right path going forward. And you're just enjoying this week, understanding that you're feeling more in the right place, right time, right people. So it calms your soul to opening up to receiving more. So you're on a higher note with the universe going, okay, just drink it in, absorb this. You're coming from a good spot this week. Ooh, and the Page of Cups. So there's good news coming in. Now this could be in the realm of a new relationship. And a relationship doesn't mean that it has to be a lover or partner, any of that. It could be just new relationships in all areas of your life. Friends, family, co-workers, neighbors in some cases. But you're feeling more fulfilled. But this is a surprise that is going to make you feel good about your choices this far. You're feeling a little more sensitive than you have in a long time. You're in touch with your feelings and accepting, letting it wash over you and being more acceptive that this really is a good place to be at. So you're coming to that realization for yourself. All right, I'm going to shuffle you a fairy card just for a little more clarification. But you're stepping out of the dark and into the light. You really are moving on to a more karma orientated way of doing things. You're letting things happen more naturally in your life. A financial windfall. Your leadership skills are needed now. An unexpected supporter of your cause. Beautiful. And on that note, I will say goodbye for now. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll talk to you again next week. Bye for now.